What is up, guys? Distance Trainer here, back with another video for you guys today. And today is a very tough topic for me to talk about, as you noticed by the title. So, today, I'm going to be talking about the biggest problem in the Pokemon franchise. And I really think that this has been a problem since the the beginning of the whole entire franchise, and more prominently Gen 6, because I think ever since Gen 6 it's gotten worse and worse. So the interesting thing here is we think about evolution, right? Evolution is a core concept of this franchise and what it's supposed to represent, right? Because when we look at Pokemon, it's not even just necessary Pokemon that actually evolve in terms of getting the form change and the design change, but even the Pokemon that don't actually evolve, right? This stay the way that they are with their own design. Some of them may even have different forms, even if it's not an actual legitimate Pokemon evolution. So even those Pokemon evolve in their certain ways. So you look at every single Pokemon in the game evolves in some certain way, right? Every single one. So what's ironic here is, though, that you see all this happening inside in terms of the actual content, but the franchise itself seems to lack that evolution, right? Because when you look at really the thick of things, right, everything a part of the Pokemon franchise, not just the video games, nothing ever really evolves. It's really just the same concepts and ideas presented in a different way, right? Every single Pokemon aspect just changes its presentation. It's saying the same idea, but just in a different way. Because when we really look at, in terms of the certain battle mechanics that we've gone in the past few generations, we're about to get Dynamaxing this generation, and possibly Gigantamaxing, which seems likely. There's really a correlation here, right? It's not really anything different. Mega Evolution, okay, is a design and a form change for older Pokemon, right? That gives them a buff in terms of battling. Z-moves, another way to buff in battling by giving you this ultimate move, per se, once per battle. And now Dynamaxing and possibly Gigantamaxing is another kind of change to the actual Pokemon itself, right? They enlarge with terms of Dynamaxing, and with Gigantamaxing hopefully being true, it not only enlarges it, but it's also a design change as well, right? So what do all four of these mechanics share? All they're doing is increasing the battle capabilities of the Pokemon, right? So that's the core problem I noticed throughout the entirety of this franchise, that it only ever focuses on battling. That's all it ever does. The main mechanics of every single Pokemon game is battling, but just the way that they present them is different, right? Even with the first 5 generations, where we didn't even have a certain battling mechanic like Mega Evolution, for example, they still made decent changes, like Gen 3 added natures abilities, for example. Gen 4 added the physical special split. Gen 2 from Gen 1 added held items. and breeding, right? The list goes on and on. Every single new generation shakes up the battling system in a different way. But that's all they ever do, right? There's never been one new main mechanic that we've had in this franchise, and this is the core problem. Because although it's been successful and really fun to play, you just can't help but think that this franchise could be so much more than what it's trying to be and what it is. My question for this franchise is, are they just trying to be the same all the time? I mean, I understand that there's a certain formula, right? And it's worked. It really has. But if you don't start taking some sort of risk and changing up the formula a little bit, how are you ever going to be better than what you already are? And that seems to be the position that Pokemon is in right now. It seems like it's stagnating. But even worse than that, you can argue that not only are they not progressing, you can argue that they're even regressing, because now not every single Pokemon is going to be in the game. Right? So that's taking a step backwards. Although it was inevitable, it's still taking a step backwards. Right? So in some ways, you're actually going in reverse. And anime, for example, the Sun and Moon anime is a huge step back from X, Y, and X, Y, and Z because of the lack of character development that's been apparent in this series, the lack of a detailed story and story progression, and the pacing has been completely all over the place. The pacing has been completely ridiculous. Sometimes it's way too fast, sometimes it's way too slow, and other times it doesn't seem to even go anywhere, right? It just stays in the same place. You have to have the right amount of pacing where it's a in between, that it's still moving forward, but it's not moving forward too fast, nor is it moving backward. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems with Sun and Moon. It's just, it doesn't pick a pace and sticks with it. So those are major problems with the Sun and Moon anime, right? So that took a step back. So I wonder what the anime is gonna do for Sword and Shield. I have no idea what to expect from the Sword and Shield anime. I really don't. At this point, I really don't have that much high expectations for this franchise, because they just continue to disregard the potential that it has. They continue to just play it way too safe, and that it's just frustrating me. Do I believe that Sword and Shield are still going to be great? Yes. I still believe that. But at the end of the day, ask yourself this. How much more could it be? Don't you guys wonder that? I know I'm definitely not the only one that wonders how much more that this franchise could be. I can't be the only one that thinks about it. I'm sure all of you guys think about it. Tell me in the comment section below if you do. So, this is really what Sword and Shield should have done. So, let's look at what they turned the gyms into to explain what it should have been. So, every single gym is a soccer stadium, right? It's obvious. Anyone who's ever seen a soccer stadium before knows that that's exactly what these gyms are. Okay? Which means the crowd is a lot bigger because now there's stadiums. 2, when you walk into the stadium, you're wearing a soccer uniform, right? And so is the gym leader. So we're in soccer stadiums, we're wearing soccer uniforms, we have a huge crowd around us that are also wearing sports wear as well, right? It's exactly what you expect from a sports crowd, right? They're trying to go with the whole sports theme here, with the aesthetics, right? That's what they're going for. Okay? So, I get why, because you're gonna need something big enough for Dynamax Pokemon, because obviously Dynamax is enlarging Pokemon, right? But don't you think that this is all being set up to have been a soccer game mode, right? I'm going to ask you guys a question right now. Answer it in the comment section below. And if you guys are fans of Overwatch like I am, you're going to understand what I'm about to ask you. So I'll explain it to you guys who don't know what Overwatch is, okay? So Overwatch is a PvP MMO, right? That's what it is. And every August they have this event called the Summer Games. And in it, one of the characters of the game, Lucio, has a sporting event dedicated to soccer, right? It's an actual soccer game, right? So in that, it's 3v3. So obviously you're gonna have one goalie and two other players trying to score, right? So it's soccer, but in a different type of light. Because since this is a character from a shooting game, the rules work differently in this. So if you guys are Overwatch fans, you know what I'm talking about. So imagine Lucio Ball, but with Pokemon. That's what I'm asking all you Overwatch fans to do right now. Just imagine it. Because that's exactly how I see it, right? Also, another game that plays soccer differently is Rocket League. It's soccer with automobiles, right? So if you guys play that, and you know that very well, that too, right? So some games have sporting events that have different rules, but they're still based off of an actual sporting event, right? So what I'm saying is, why can't Pokemon do that as well? It would have been very creative, and it would have changed the franchise for the better, in my opinion. I'm just getting sick of the same stuff all over again. It's just all they ever do is change the presentation of what they're trying to do. That's all it is. Pokemon could be so much more than just battling. Why don't they ever do it? Do more. I just don't understand. Right? So it is what it is. I just wish that they would start thinking long term here. And maybe they do. I don't really know what truly goes on there. I don't know. Right? I'm just giving you guys my 2 cents of how it works. But tell me in the comment section below what you guys think of this. Again, I'm still a fan of this franchise. I probably always will be. But I just know that what it's doing right now isn't good enough anymore. It's not gonna fly. Right? So the Pokemon games unfortunately won't revolutionize Pokemon like they should have. So maybe we'll still get that opportunity with the anime, because the anime hasn't come out yet. We don't know anything about the Sword and Shield anime. So I'm hoping that will step up. I'm hoping. But it's to be seen. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notifications bell to get every video I make first. I got tons of great content for you guys to enjoy. Thank you guys for your endless support. It means the world to me. But I'm signing off now, guys. Peace. Have a great day.